I've never done work for hire as a director. It's a little bit like me doing a film in Chicago. Like, I don't know enough about it to be the person who would do that well. In some ways, I want to know more than most. I want to have a wider perspective. It's like a psychoanalyst. Actors need to be in the present, and I think as a director, you need to be in the present and also in the future and in the past. I went into a gay bookstore and I saw this book. It was called Peter Hujar's Day. It is the published version of a transcript that was created in 1974 by Linda Rosenkrantz, in which she asked Peter to describe for her what he had done the day before. I read it very quickly, and by the time I got to the end of the book, I thought, oh, this is something I should do with Ben Whishaw. And it was really hard, actually, to try to figure out how to make a movie from this conversation. That anything remains is kind of extraordinary because most conversations disappear.
I often have a feeling that in my day nothing much happens, that I've wasted it.
Well, now you know.
I've wasted another day. All I did is I spent 2 hours with Ginsberg. This takes a day.
That's why I'm doing this, actually. To find out how people fill up their days, because I myself feel like I don't do much of anything all day.
You should do it.
In general, when two people talk as us right now, with a tape recorder, you don't move. So how do you make a film without movement? There were these films, Portrait of Jason by Shirley Clark, and Poor Little Rich Girl, which is a film by Andy Warhol of Edie Sedgwick in the Chelsea Hotel. And all of these films ultimately gave me a direction for how to make the film. I first saw a show of Peter's work in the early 90s. I was interested in the images as photographs, but also as a window into a period that I had just missed in New York City, and that was inviting to me. I felt like these pictures were both a record and also something very present tense about them. They live in the moment. I try to avoid nostalgia, but I have a little bit for 70s and 80s, these gathering spaces, the artists who were there, specifically the queer artists, and I get a sense of what is possible, that you don't always have to make work that's necessarily going to appeal commercially, that there can be other things that drive you. There was a radical element in Peter Hujar's work and the community of artists that he was a part of that I feel driven by. At the Village East, there's these arched windows above the marquee, and that corner is really where so many of images of Peter Hujar that are familiar for those who know the work are him inside that apartment with those corner windows. So whenever you go by 2nd and 12th, you can always actually kind of remember Hujar. I was set up for a gen role with Rebecca Hall. We met at the Marlton Hotel right around the corner, and she has a kind of very exquisite ability to make complicated things simple. Ben and Peter speak, but without any sense of where they're going, and somehow Rebecca's character shapes a mood and an emotion in the film. The thing that has become most significant for me about the film is it's a record of interior thought of a creative person that I feel is quite unique, because Peter shares with us transparently this vacillation between confidence and doubt. And I think rarely, you don't think of Mozart and think doubt. You don't think of Hujar and think doubt. In a way, art seems so complete when we receive it. It seems done. It seems to be seamless. It doesn't contain anxiety and fear of humiliation and the kind of vertigo of making something. And I feel like this film, he shares that with us. That to me is really comforting to think Peter Hujar walked around thinking, what if I didn't do well? Because I think that for all of us is really primary to our daily life and in specific for making art.